Violets are supposed to be very good for respiration, heart, circulation, skin. They've got all the antioxidants and enable the absorption of vitamin A. Also, a half a cup of violets represent about 3 oranges in the equivalent of vitamin C. And there's also something incredibly pleasing about this colour. It's got a hint of violet, especially in the aroma and in the flavours. It is sweet and nutty and a little bit grassy, so it's a complex flavour, and there's a nice sense of well-being in the drinking of it. It feels good. If you do nothing else with violets, I strongly encourage you to try the violet syrup. The violet comes and goes in vogue over the centuries, and there's records of it being sold at the markets of Athens in 400 BC. It was a favourite of Napoleon and Josephine, and in fact when Josephine died, the violet was planted on her grave. The violet had a huge heyday in the Victorian era, and I think had a small comeback in the 80s, and I think I need to herald the comeback of the violet in the next decade. In the making of the syrup, be careful not to cook the violets. You need the heat to dissolve the sugar. Once the sugar has dissolved, take the pan off the heat and add the violet water. The violet syrup lasts in the fridge for about 6 months, but I haven't managed to keep it very long because I find it delicious as a violet lemonade. The addition of citrus adds a dramatic colour change from a bluey colour through to more ultraviolet. And if you find your syrup has turned an inky kind of grey, you've almost certainly, with the heat, destroyed the pigment. But don't throw it out. The flavour is still very good, and you can lighten it up, as I've just done here with this one, with some citrus, some lime or lemon, and you get a darker kind of violet colour with the drink. Yeah, so the heat destroys the pigment, but the flavour lives on. Monk fruit as a sugar substitute also works really well with the syrup. I use the violet syrup just making an ordinary butter tea cake, and I add a couple of tablespoons of syrup in the process of making the icing, and the flavour of the violet infuses into the icing and the cake, especially if you decorate the cake with fresh violets. Later for how to make the cake, but let's get on to how to grow violets. Violets are propagated by root division. If they're the sweet violets, they'll self-seed quite easily as well. I think they grow really well as an understory to a planting. The more sun you have, the more flowers you'll have. But to match the increase in sunlight, you'll need to have a bit more moisture in the soil. And if the sun is too hard, the plant doesn't do all that well either. If you're planning to propagate violets, it's best done in the beginning of summer after flowering, and you can pull the old clumps to pieces and get a lot of violets out of one clump. Like strawberries, take off the runners in the first year so that the mother plant gets to grow in strength. They actually
do really well in new soil about every second year. I'd avoid too much manure dug into the soil. Leaf mould is great. Although they like shade, dry shade isn't best for them. They do need a bit of moisture.
Violets are great container plants and they have a nice trailing ability to spill over the edge and take hold in the ground. They actually like quite a good depth of soil, about 30 centimetres. You can also add in the leaves at the end of a stir fry and they operate as any type of spinach like green.
Happy Wattle Day. And the thing about violets that I should also mention is that they're a sheer delight in working with. The harvest aromas are like aromatherapy. I'll say that they're a very hardy plant in a garden and they're non-toxic to chickens, dogs, cats, and obviously humans. Make sure you get the right plant, that you ID it correctly. Yeah, they survive in my chook pen over most of the year. The roots are deep enough that the chickens don't manage to scratch them to destruction like other plants. So once they take hold, they're pretty hardy. So here we have it, the classic violet posy with the leaves around the edge. And now for that cake I keep promising.
On the road, I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling out my name. They telling me to head your way, down your road and past your gate. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home. Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms, the place I call my home. I was looking to belong when I already found my home.
And now a different way of looking at the violet through art. I've dug up this violet here and repotted it, and 92-year-old artist Joyce and friends will celebrate the beauty of the violet and hopefully bring it back into vogue through art.
On the road, I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling out my name. They telling me to head your way, down your road and past your gates. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home. Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms, the place I call my home. I was looking to belong when I already found my home.
Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.